Hello, my dear students. Today I am going to explain you chapter number 9 of your reader book named Zoo's Story. That chapter is written by Paul Jacharia. That he is a Malayalam short story writer, novelist, and essayist. He is known for writing stories that deal with social issues but in a matter of fact way. His works have been translated into English and other languages. He has also been awarded the Satya Academy Award and Katha Award. So, let us start with the chapter. Here in the italic lines, start with the italic ones. Ju is a young girl who lives with her mother. Her father had been killed in a tragic accident a few years ago. Her mother is a domestic help and so many of the things that Ju uses, textbooks, school bags, lunchbox and umbrellas, are second hand. However, Ju looks after all her things well and is a cheerful and practical girl. Read on to find out more about her life. So, in this italic line, there's a short theme of that chapter, that Ju is a young girl who lives her mother, a girl named Ju who lives with her mother, and her father had been killed in a tragic accident a few years ago. Her mother is a domestic helper, and many of the things that Ju uses in her life, that means that school bags, textbooks, lunchbox, dresses, umbrellas, are all of the second hand. It means that someone gave her mother and then mother gave to Ju. That second hand things Ju used. However, Ju looks after all her things well and is a cheerful and a practical girl. She know that all the things are second hand, but still she take all her things well and is a cheerful and practical girl. Now start with the chapter. Ju never thought of the gifts she received as being old. They were entering her life for the first time and therefore they were brand new as far as she was concerned. She felt as if she were making new friends. That was why she did not cross out the name of the original owners of the book before writing her own name, which was P.R. Manju. That is Pur Marathil Ramu Manju. Now, in this paragraph, that is, Ju never thought that the gifts she received as being old. It means whenever her mother brings something, she always think that is the new one, that not the old one, and she accept all the gifts as like entering her life for the first time, and they were brand new as her point of view. And she also feel that she making new friends, and that's why she did not cross out the names of the original owners of the books before writing her own name, because the books are also second hand and she doesn't that cut the name of the original owners of the book writing. And the real name or the exact name of Ju is P.R. Manju, that is Pur Marathil Ramu Manju. Pur Marathil was her family name, meaning upon the flowering tree. That the first word, that Pur Marathil, was her family name, and the meaning of that is upon the flowering tree, and Ramu was her father's name. This year Manju was moving up to class 8th, division B. Everyone called her Zu because that's how her mother called her. So, and everyone called her only Ju, that not P.R. Manju. Everyone, because her mother called her Zu, so everyone called her Zu. Zu thought her mother rationed her name too, like she did rice, dal, salt, soap, oil, and so on. And that Ju thought that her mother is saying that name in a funny way of saying that Ju's mother shortened her name so that Manju would not be used too often, just like she did with the rice, dal, salt, soap, oil, etc. In any case, she loved being called Zu because most people remembered it easily. There were some people who asked her if it was a Hindu, Christian, or a Muslim name, but then she replied, "It's just a name." Of course, there were size problems with the old dresses because everything she used is a second hand. So sometimes there's a size problem also with the old dresses, that skirts were too tight or too long and the blouse were too large or the too short. But Madhu, that is Zu's mother name, would beg Ali with whom Zu's father had shared work to alter them to suit Ju. So here three characters are there. One is Ju, second one is Madhu, her mother, and the third one is Ali, whom with her father had worked together to alter them to suit Ju. Alter means to make changes. One day, Ju was surprised when an old lady she knew stopped her in the street, calling out to her Lizzie. Now, one day, one old lady stopped her and in the street and called out Lizzie. The old lady had mistaken Zu for her granddaughter, and the old lady thought that she is her granddaughter. When she found out it was Zu, she embarrassed her and said happily, of course, my eyesight is not what it used to be. You are Madhu's daughter. You look so much like my granddaughter Lizzie in that dress." So what she said, grandmother, that oh yes, you are not that my granddaughter, you are Madhu's daughter, but you look same as my granddaughter Lizzie in that dress. Then Zu told her grandmother that I am wearing Lizzie dress, that's why I'm look like your granddaughter Lizzie in that dress. Oh, the old lady said and gazed at Zu. Then she took Zu's hand in hers and said, "God bless you, you are a beautiful girl." Zu asked her grandmother, "Should I walk with you to the church?" No, I'm all right, she replied and slowly continued on her way, taking a look at everything and occasionally peering at a passerby. Passerby means those who are just go walk on the footpath or this thing, passerby. Ju stood there wondering why Lizzie's grandmother had called her beautiful. Now, after she gone, then Zu think or thought about that grandmother said that you are such a beautiful girl. Now Ju say, think why she called her beautiful. Nobody had called her that before. So Jews always found little keepsakes of the previous owner sleeping in the pages of the books her mother brought. Now, always when the books she just got, in that books she always found keepsakes. It means the things we preserve for the past that bring back memories. So she always found the keepsakes of the previous owners slipping in the pages or between the pages in the books of her mother's brought. Her mother brought some old books and she always found some keepsakes. There were pictures of film stars, of football and cricket players, of singers and of gods, goddess, dried flowers, peacock feathers, sometimes a little poem and sometimes a prayer. So all these things she found in the books sometimes. Once, Ju found a butterfly pressed between the pages of her geography textbook, dried up, brittle, and forlorn. And one day, she found a butterfly that pressed between the pages in the geography book, and that is dried and also easily breakable and alone and unhappy. Some dust of its wing colors had rubbed off on the pages, as if that was the last thing the butterfly had to give before folding them up forever. Then there were some postage stamps. Each stamp was like a mystery speaking silently to her. She had never received a letter in her life. She had watched the postman passing their home and dreamt about his stepping into their yard with a letter in his hand. Because in her life, she never received a letter, and always she think that the postman just came in their home and just give the letter in his hand. Nor had she or her mother written her letter, even not received a letter or also not written a letter. They had never bought a postal envelope, inland letter, postcard, or stamp. Sometimes she found unused stamps, but Zoo couldn't think of using them to write to anybody but her father. But she knew he had no address because dead people have